Dr. Fauci, how much have you earned from royalties from pharmaceutical companies since the pandemic began in 2021?
Zero.
It says NIH scientists made $710 million in royalties from drug makers. You're saying that you did not receive any of the $710 million?
On COVID, I received, I think, $122 for a monoclonal antibody that I made 27 years ago.
Okay, so just in general, though, how much have you received, not related to COVID, just in general, how much have you received in royalties between 2021 and 2023?
I think none.
Okay, so somebody received the $710 million.
Somebody did, but not me.
You didn't receive any royalties. Okay.
I mean, I see no royalties associated with COVID. I mentioned.
I said.
No, I want to.
No, I just said.
I'm on the record, and I want to make sure that this is clear. That I developed a monoclonal antibody about 25 years ago that's used as a diagnostic that has nothing to do with COVID, and I receive an average of about $120 a year from that.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously that did not go the way that the right wanted. Or did it? Watch this.
Fauci had a financial interest in force-feeding the vaccine. His scientists made almost $1 billion in royalties from pharmaceutical companies during the pandemic.
He's just lying. That's not what was shown at all. Look at the work. His scientists. How are they his scientists? Some scientists made money. He didn't. He had a financial interest, whatever. So like, again, and what I think is so funny about this is the right are the ones that have been telling us our whole lives, y'all need participation trophies. You don't know how to just lose. Well, look at them. Even when they lose, they win. They don't prove their point. They don't get the viral moment. Let's just pretend that they did instead. And it's just swing and miss, but it doesn't matter. It's all filtered through Fox News. No right winger is gonna watch the Malliotakis video. They're just gonna see Jesse Waters openly lying to their face about what it contained was.
Yeah, again, and like the right wingers, if they would ever get their stuff together, they could actually clobber the Democrats. I think if the message was actually consistent in that, look, not only should we have been skeptical of Pfizer and all these other pharmaceutical companies who stood to make massive profits from vaccine mandates by the government, like they stood to make a lot of money from that. We should be skeptical across the board of pharmaceuticals and their companies and their products. Like that should be an across the board policy. But no, we can't do that because they want to pick and choose and they don't want to be consistent. And that's why they won't win on something like this.
Yeah. By the way, I'll remind everyone, some people made quite a bit of free money during the pandemic. Marjorie Greene, for instance, had over $183,000 in PPP loans forgiven. Just free money, a couple years worth of regular people's salary just handed to the Congresswoman, who I will remind you is a many times over millionaire, free money to her. And here's the thing, if you're a right winger and you're watching this, you probably are a little bit frustrated because you're like, I know people are making money off of this. And I'm with you. I despise how much money Big Pharma makes off of all of this stuff. But you need to understand that Marjorie Greene and Representative Malliotakis are not your ally on this. They talk about Fauci making money, and Marjorie did bring it up during her comments as a way to cosplay caring about excess of money when it comes to pharma. They're not actually trying to regulate Big Pharma. You think Marjorie Greene is going off on a big rant calling people a-holes off of the price of insulin? That was the Democrats that capped the price of insulin. The Republicans want to let them charge whatever they want. They do this stuff to fool you into supporting them because they know how mad you are and you're legitimately mad about the various ways that the system is rigged. But the way that they divert your justifiable rage is by coming up with fake squirrel versions of rigging for you to freak out about. And then you miss the fact that they've completely ignored the actual substance and they've protected the status quo, the establishment from the reforms that are desperately needed to unrig the system. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.